Hey everybody, Nerd Transformed here again, and today I'm reviewing the Transformers Dark of the Moon Human Alliance Basic Class Icepick. Now, I believe this is supposed to be the same Icepick character as the Power Core Combiner ones, but I'm not sure, especially since, they are both Decepticons, they're both based on ice vehicles, but honestly I think they just share a name and that's it. But as you can see here, we do actually have a snow vehicle. One that has treads and sleighs and little sleds in front, a snowmobile of some sort. And it does say FreeCon on the side. Or yeah, FreeCon, like freeze, I guess. Maybe it's for a convention. Maybe he's going to list something like MetroCon, I don't know. But here's the Decepticon. Much like with Royal, I am missing the human figure. I believe for this one, the human figure's name was Sergeant Chaos. And he was like this little masked individual, so that way you couldn't see if it's a human or not, because kind of weird for the Decepticon to be working for the humans, but I guess it kind of could happen. But his vehicle mode is a lot nicer than Whirl's. It's a lot more solid feeling for one thing. This like pieces are flopping around. You can spot some robot bits, like you can see his little feet here, you can see the hands sticking off with the little fingers there. But besides that, everything else is pretty well hidden. This does look a lot like a vehicle. It doesn't look like a robot pretending to be a vehicle. Like if you saw this on the shelf, you might actually think this is just a snowmobile toy, not a transformer. He does have some accessories. They are clip-on weapons, just like they would the Generation figures at the time and other Human Alliance figures. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. They're like these little laser spikes. I'm going to call them little laser cannons. You can clip them onto the back, and there is enough room for both to fit on, like so. So you can have them kind of sticking over the head of the rider. Or you could also face them down. This is usually how I display them on the toy. For one thing, it gives them a weapon to shoot backwards, but also you could just kind of fold it down, pretend it's part of a snowmobile. Let's see. Do they clip on here? Nope. The only other place I know they can clip onto is they can clip onto the front here. And you can turn them. And you can give them some front-mounted laser cannons, which doesn't look bad. You also have them on this ball joint, so you could have them face like that. Could have them stick off the sides like so. There's a lot you can do since they're little clip-on pieces. So yeah, if you're buying this figure, make sure it comes with the little weapons, and of course Sergeant Chaos if you want the Human Alliance figure. I know these front panels here, these front legs do pop off pretty easily, so make sure that the figure has these when you buy it, especially since these look like they'll probably get broken pretty easily. So yeah, make sure it has those as well. I don't think there's any pieces that really come off. The arm and the ball joints to come off, but we'll get to that in his robot mode. For size comparison, here he is with a Legends class, a current Legends class. And you see the basic class at the time did look kind of close to a Legends class. They are a little bit bigger, but not by much. But this gives you a current size scale, so not bad. Much like Roll, he does have a weapon mode. You take the front little ski drifts and flip them back. Come back here and grab the treads, and you're going to separate them from the white part of the seat here. Then they're going to come in with this white panel here as well and flip it around on a hinge right there. It'll flip all the way around. You're going to take this, there's a peg right here, and there's a peg hole right up in here. You're going to take it, line it up as best as you can, peg it together, like so. And there you have his weapon mode, which is supposed to be like a giant club, I believe, but it could also be like a chainsaw weapon almost. You can also take these and flip them around to the other way. I think you're actually supposed to do it like this, so. You can also do it like that. It kind of looks like a chainsaw weapon of some sort. Like these could spin around and really tear up something, maybe. I think you're actually supposed to turn it like this. I could be wrong, but there's the weapon mode. I personally prefer leaving the treads, if you're going to use this weapon mode, I prefer leaving the treads flipped around, so that way it kind of looks like a giant club of doom. Like that. So you just bonk somebody with that. Which is kind of what it looks like anyway. Not as good as Roll's mode, but to be fair, this is probably his weakest mode of the whole figure. So if the weapon mode is the thing that's weak, I don't mind that as long as the robot and vehicle mode is good. So yeah, probably his worst mode, not the best. Oh wait, I think you're also supposed to swivel this inward. There, so the handle's more inside. That makes a bit more sense to me. Like I said, probably the worst mode of this figure. Worse weapon mode than Whirl, but not bad still. So again, robot mode, you're going to get the panel back out of the way. Come to the sides here, and these will pull outwards like so, and you're going to unfurl them to form his legs. They'll just simply unbend at the hinge there. Come to the feet, they are on 2 separate hinges. Push that hinge forward to make his foot, then push the back part back to make his heel. Do the same on this side, and that will make his legs. This whole black part start coming unfurled on his hinge right there. Take the bottom part of this panel here that the little ski pieces are attached to and bring it down on a hinge. And these two will meet in the middle, like so, to form his crotch plate. And make sure these are still pushed back to kind of help widen his chest a little bit. Come back here to the seat, split it down the middle to form his arms. They do come out on these little struts right here, right behind the ski parts. Same on this side, on these, as you can see right here, on these little struts. Flip the arms around 180 degrees, do the same on this side. Flip this on back so the peg's sticking up here. Go ahead and take this piece, you notice there's this weirdly shaped hole here. It'll fit over these hinge parts and kind of just clip together. Then as for the treads, you could just leave them kind of collapsed in like that. Or like this, if you prefer. But we can also split them open. What I do is I flip them around, flip them up on the hinges, and you can see there's this little space in the treads here to allow them to kind of butterfly as wings onto the back on his back here. Then last but not least, grab the little purple windshield and push back on it to reveal the head. And the purple windshield does kind of clip into this little space right here. And that gives him his sort of face. And there we have Icepick in his robot mode. Can be kind of tricky to stand depending on how you have his heel set, but there we go. Now we got Icepick in his robot mode. Go ahead and get size comparison out of the way. Here he is next to Legends Wheelie, so you can get a good idea of just how big he is. You know, not quite deluxe size, but definitely bigger than a Legends. Kind of like a Legends and a half. About the same size as those knockoffs I reviewed a couple weeks ago, so that's kind of interesting actually. But here he is in his robot mode, and it's a decent looking robot mode. I think he works a bit better in Whirl in this way. Like I said, weapon mode's worse, but his vehicle mode's much better, and his robot mode's a bit better. This is probably one of my favorite of the basic classes. He's pretty nice. It's also nice to have like an ice vehicle, a very unique vehicle for a Transformer. Detail-wise, a lot of it is just details left over from a snowmobile, especially the chest and parts of the arms and legs. As far as the forearms are revealed, not really much detail besides like a wiring effect, but it's basically taken by the screws going through it. You do get some details under here from the panel flip down with a little gold crest. You can also see the inside here where you get all this nice, kind of an icy blue paint color scheme going with all this sharp edging. Looks pretty nice actually. Plus with the treads being split like this, almost like spikes, it does give him a rather dangerous look. So that can be really cool. And like I said, the treads are spaced just enough to where you can kind of have him leaning against his back panel here. One thing is he does look slightly down, so you do have to set his legs back a bit just to get him looking forward, which means him like kind of puff out his chest a bit. And you do have these bits just kind of sticking out on his chest, which does help make his chest look wider, because without them you just kind of have these struts sticking out. So at least that kind of works. I do wish they kind of bent inward a bit, maybe put a hinge right there, but what can you do? And like I said, the treads are adjustable to however you wish to put them. The weirdest part is his face. I'm not sure how to describe it. Kind of reminds me of the putty monsters from Power Rangers Wild Force, just these weird faceless creatures. He really doesn't have really any kind of face. It's just kind of like this big, I guess you could say he has kind of like a Transformers Prime Soundwave, where he just has a giant visor. Or kind of like a Shockwave, where he has just his eye. But it's just a very odd look, because it's got like these little stripes going over it, so kind of gives the impression of just like a mask or something. It's very weird, but it is painted with a little bit of black to help the stripes stick out. It does have some gold going up it. Even got a tiny bit of gold on the sides of the head to account for, or actually just on this side. I wonder if that's a mistake actually. Not sure what that little speck is. only problem with his head is it is inhibited by the kibble sticking off the back of his head, just sticking into here. It can allow it to turn, but it can't go back any further. And you can have him look down, I guess, but it's more just tucking his head back in. Because his head can't go back any further, in order to get it straight, you kind of have to lean him back slightly. His arms are also really thin because of how they're two halves of the seat. From the front looks fine, but from the sides it is very kind of creepy looking. It has a Slender Man vibe, really. That actually might be a good custom for this. Turn him into a Transformers version of Slender Man. He can hold his weapons, sort of. He can't directly hold them, but he does have these little handles sticking off of his arm, so you can always just pick him onto that. Which doesn't look the best, but it works. You can also kind of peg him from here. But again, it kind of continues that Slender Man vibe, actually. You just peg him on and turn them like this. It really does make him look like he has really long claw-like hands. And this figure just gets creepier by the second. Really like him, though. Alright, let's get the mouth of those. Personally, I would just, well, I guess you could peg him onto here, but that might look a little weird. Personally, I peg him onto the skis again. Onto what were the front parts of the vehicle. Because it kind of helps widen. Can give him some chest weapons, also kind of helps widen his chest even more, so like that. But that might not be for everybody. Articulation wise, he does have a ball jointed head. It does go down, mainly just for swiveling left and right. Can only go left that far, can only go right that far, can't go any further back with the back kibble there. Do have a full rotation at the ball jointed shoulder, just bangs into his kibble a little bit, but you can work around it. Can go outward that far, do get a ball jointed elbow so it can swivel and bend and all that. No waist articulation, but you do get a ball jointed leg. Does bang into his kibble as well. Does go outward. No, wait, there is a swivel. Here it is. It's at the top right under this ball joint right here. Do get a double knee joint, so that's really good. And you do get ankle articulation because of how it can transform, so you do get a little bit of ankle tilt going forward and back. So you could have him tilting his legs back and forth like so. So yeah, like I said, he just has a really creepy vibe about him. It's so weird to have like such an innocent snow vehicle turn into something so creepy looking, but he is a really nice figure. He does have good articulation. He does have a really good robot mode. He does have a decently fun transformation, if slightly over complex. My only complaint with him is really I wish the arms were a bit thicker, so that way they weren't so thin and gangly looking. But for some that might work if you're into that kind of thing, especially if you want like a creepy looking Decepticon. It's just certain angles it just doesn't work, like from the side, or if you have his arm tilted out like this or something, it looks really weird. But besides that, decent well, more of okay articulation, but still not the worst I've seen. And good transformation, good vehicle mode, even good weaponry if you can get it looking good on him. So yeah, I would recommend him actually. Even his weapon mode is not that bad. I'm sure if you put him in a combiner's hand, he would make a decent little mallet weapon or a hammer or something. So yeah, I think Icepick from Human Alliance is a good figure. So, this has been Nerdy Transformed. I hope you enjoyed this review, and hope you have a good day. Take care.